Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, the wind whipping around you, the ground far below a blur of uncertainty. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and every fiber of your being screams at you to step back. But what if this cliff isn't real? What if it's a metaphor for every decision you've ever made or avoided because fear whispered in your ear? What if you fall? Fear is not just an emotion. It's a puppeteer, pulling the strings of your choices, your relationships, your dreams. It convinces you to stay in jobs you hate, to silence your voice in crowded rooms, to settle for less than you deserve. But here's the paradox. Fear doesn't protect you, it imprisons you. It masquerades as wisdom, as caution, as practicality, while quietly stealing your life. What if the greatest danger isn't failure, but the life you never live because fear held you back? What if the cliff isn't a threat, but an invitation to fly? And what if, all this time, fear wasn't your enemy but a mirror, reflecting the parts of yourself you've been too afraid to face? The question isn't how to eliminate fear, it's how to stop letting it control you. And the answer lies in understanding the invisible grip it has on your mind, your choices, and your very identity. But first, you must ask yourself, what would I do if I weren't afraid? The truth is, fear doesn't just shape your decisions, it shapes who you are. And the moment you realize this, everything changes. Fear is not an accident of evolution. It's a survival mechanism etched into your DNA. But here's the twist. The same instinct that once saved your ancestors from predators now traps you in invisible cages. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the part of your psyche where fear, shame, and unresolved pain reside. It's not just fear of failure or rejection. It's fear of your own potential, your own power. Nietzsche warned of this when he wrote, "The snake which cannot cast its skin has to die. Fear clings to the old, the familiar, the safe, even when it suffocates you." Modern society amplifies this. From childhood, you're taught to fear mistakes, to seek approval, to follow the herd. The philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre saw this as a form of bad faith, a betrayal of your authentic self to conform to external expectations. Fear becomes a habit, a reflex, a lens through which you see the world. It whispers, "You're not enough," and you believe it. But what if fear isn't the problem? What if the real issue is your relationship with it? What if fear, like fire, can either destroy you or forge you into something stronger? The deeper you look, the clearer it becomes. Fear isn't just an emotion, it's a story. And the question is, who's writing it? Fear doesn't just live in your mind. It seeps into every corner of your life, shaping your reality in ways you barely notice. It's the reason you stay in relationships that drain you, the reason you silence your ideas in meetings, the reason you scroll endlessly instead of chasing your dreams. It's the quiet force behind procrastination, perfectionism, and self-doubt. But its reach goes deeper still. Neuroscience reveals that fear hijacks your brain's prefrontal cortex, the seat of rational thought, and hands control to the amygdala, the primal center of survival. In this state, you're not thinking, you're reacting. You're not living, you're surviving. And over time, this constant state of low-grade fear rewires your brain, trapping you in a cycle of anxiety and avoidance. Culturally, fear is weaponized. Advertisers use it to sell you products you don't need. Politicians use it to control your choices. Social media thrives on your fear of missing out, of not being enough, of being left behind. Fear becomes the air you breathe, the water you swim in, so pervasive you forget it's there. But the most insidious consequence, fear robs you of your agency. It convinces you that you're powerless, that the world is too dangerous, that you're too small to make a difference. And in doing so, it steals the one thing that makes life worth living, the freedom to choose. The question is no longer how fear controls you, it's what it's costing you. And the answer is everything. What if the key to breaking free from fear isn't to fight it, but to face it? Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, discovered this truth in the darkest of places. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Fear loses its power when you stop running and turn to confront it. This begins with a radical shift in perspective. Instead of seeing fear as a threat, see it as a signal, a sign that you're on the edge of growth, of transformation. Nietzsche called this amor fati, the love of fate. It's the willingness to embrace discomfort, uncertainty, and even pain as necessary steps toward becoming who you're meant to be. Start small. Identify one decision you've been avoiding out of fear and take the first step, no matter how tiny. Notice how fear tries to pull you back, but keep moving. Over time, this builds what psychologists call fear tolerance, the ability to feel fear without letting it dictate your actions. History is filled with rebels who refused to let fear control them. From Rosa Parks to Elon Musk, they didn't wait for courage, they acted despite fear. And in doing so, they rewrote the rules of their lives. The rebellion begins with a single question: what would I do if I weren't afraid? And the answer is your first act of defiance. Here's the ultimate truth: fear will never leave you. It's woven into the fabric of being human, but it doesn't have to control you. The moment you realize this, everything changes. Fear stops being a prison and becomes a compass, a guide pointing you toward the edges of your comfort zone, where growth happens. The philosopher Friedrich Kierkegaard once wrote, "Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. Fear isn't the enemy. It's the price of possibility." Every time you feel it, it's because you're standing at the threshold of something meaningful. The cliff isn't a threat, it's an invitation to leap, to trust that you'll either fly or learn how to on the way down. The final realization is this: you're not your fear. You are the one who chooses. You are the one who acts. And every time you do, you reclaim a piece of yourself. So the next time fear whispers, "What if you fall?" whisper back, "What if I fly?" And then jump.